Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Rogers Finance. Today I'm going to be talking about something that people are usually very hesitant to talk about, and that is how much I make and how much you can expect to make at Walmart. Now this is obviously going to vary widely based on where you live and your state's minimum wage laws, things like that. I live in Western New York or upstate New York, so it is going to be slightly higher than maybe say rural Ohio, but it's going to be a little bit less than say San Francisco, California. Now my position at Walmart is a DSD associate, which means direct store delivery. I basically handle vendors coming in, Walmart trucks, things like that. I'm in the back. I don't interact with customers essentially, which is a definite pro to the position in all honesty. However, there are very few of these types of positions left in the back of house. You have DSD, you have claims, and that's about it. Maybe the people lead, if you want to consider that. It is an hourly position, I guess. In terms of hourly positions though, there's not a lot left in back of house. It's pretty much those three. So Walmart has 4 pay grades essentially, A, B, C, and D, and that essentially determines where you fall along in terms of at least the company's minimum pay for that position. If you're living in a area with lower pay, like Ohio, for instance, rural Ohio, you're gonna at least get these minimums, but it can really vary. So for instance, I'm pay grade B, and I've been working at Walmart right now for about a year. However, I did work there 2 years before. I don't know how this exactly factors into them. I make $15.91 an hour. That is, however, after 2 consecutive raises that I've had in the past few months. So that's something to take note of. Generally, you get a 2% raise every year, regardless of if you stay in your position or not. And that's just basically to account for inflation. It's a cost of living adjustment. But I wouldn't say it's impossible or difficult to make a decent living at Walmart, even in an hourly position. If you do want to make a good amount more, an easy way to do this, well, not easy, but an easier way to do this is to get a team lead position. It is going to involve more work and responsibility, but those start off at least $18.50 per hour at the front end. It might be $19 actually. And it goes up into $30 an hour just starting. And that's things like running the bakery and deli, running the people that stock the floor. And you essentially have a coach over you, which is an assistant manager. That's just our name for a assistant manager. To give you some examples of pay grades, so pay grade A, you're gonna have things like maintenance, cap 1 and 2. Cap teams are the people that literally stock the shelves, cart pushers, cashiers, things like that. Those are gonna be pay grade A. Pay grade B, which I'm in, pay grade B is gonna be more like DSD, claims, grocery pickup, shoppers, things like that. And then pay grade C is gonna be things like pharmacy technicians, optical employees. And then pay grade D finally is things like team leads. And there's a few others, but essentially that's how it's broken up. So you have A, B, C, and D. Now that's just in terms of how the pay in your store is gonna be structured. But you're also going to get things like a discount card, my share bonuses, things like that. And I'll link a video down to that below where I go over the entire list of Walmart benefits. But that's essentially what you can expect to make at Walmart is based on those positions. It's going to really vary based on where you live. But at the very, very minimum, you're going to be making $11 an hour. And that's if you're in pay grade A in an area with a lower cost of living or a low minimum wage. That's what you're going to be making at least. And I anticipate the company is probably going to be raising that in the next few years just to keep up with competition. But there's no shame in asking. If you call up to the store and ask for the people lead, ask what the positions they're hiring for and what they're paying for those positions. Generally speaking, they should be fine giving you an answer exactly what you'll be making per hour. And that's basically the most surefire way to find out what you'll be making. And even if you go into a lower paid position, you just need a job right now. After 6 months of working a position at Walmart, you can apply to any open position in the store or any other store in your area or your state or the country. And so that's definitely an advantage there is you can easily transfer to another store in another state and still be making what you're making. So that's something to consider. There's always open positions that are paying higher if you're willing to do the work, but it's just going to be more work. So that's something to consider. Something like a team lead, there is always going to be open positions somewhere in the country or probably even your area. There's always going to be open positions for pay grade A, B, C, etc. The turnover, to be quite frank, at Walmart is pretty high no matter what store you're in. There might be better stores, better or worse, but there's going to be a fairly likely high chance that there's a high turnover store in your area. So I wouldn't worry about the position you go into, especially if it's just something that you're just looking to get some money and, get some work in while the economy isn't the best, for instance, because you can rise up pretty quickly in Walmart if you want to. And to kind of give you a timeline in terms of what you can expect in terms of raises, just from my perspective, although again, this might differ for you, I was hired at $14.80 an hour, and that progressively went up to $15.60. And then just last week, I got bumped up to $15.91 an hour. I never received any explanation on why those raises occurred, but I'm certainly not going to object to them. And it's very possible you can receive these raises as well. I would say they're likely going to just keep raising wages because it just makes more sense from Walmart's perspective when the government has that sort of tendency right now to be sounding like we're heading towards a higher minimum wage. It just makes sense for them to bump up wages. And competition, honestly, for retail workers is still pretty high, as weird as that may sound, but you can easily jump ship to another store. It's not difficult. So they need bodies in there to move things, plain and simple. But honestly, if you need a job, it's not the worst thing in the world. The pay is decent for what it is, and it's not impossible to make a good living, at least while you look for another job maybe, or you do want to make it a career. You can very easily climb the ranks. So think about it. Go call your store, ask for the people lead, ask what positions are available and what they're paying. They should have no problem asking or telling you rather. If they do, I don't know why, but that's just them, I guess. Guys, if you did enjoy the video and learn something, please leave a like down below, hit subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.